Growing up, I always wanted to do so many things.
I wanted to be a vet.
I wanted to be an actor.
I wanted to be a celebrity by any means necessary.
This is Spike Drop Vegas Heist.
I'm only here for a 2B. I don't really care about any other place.
Can't even comprehend what is going on, but I like it.
My name is Evan. I go by Newdori, and this is Wannabe. I am originally from New York City. It's interesting, you know, I come from a city where the loudest person is usually correct, and it's a city with a lot of big egos and a lot of big personalities, so naturally I like to think I fit in quite well. I mean, I'm definitely big horizontally wise, but personality, I like to think I'm larger than average. What did I want to be when I grew up? I wanted to be a stand-up comedian.
We still have to see so many more, of course. I'm doing stand-up comedy, so...
When I was growing up, my father was really into old school comedy. I'm talking Laurel and Hardy, Abbott and Costello, The Three Stooges. You know, he would sit down and watch old comedy things from like the 80s and 90s, like George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, and he used to love comedy. When I was 15, he died, and it was a really bad time. And when we were going through his stuff, we found his like CD list of all of his comedy specials, and I remember I used to listen to them every day, every chance I got, because when I listened to them and when I laughed, I wasn't thinking about my dad being dead. I wasn't thinking about, you know, how my life is. I wasn't thinking about how angry I was or how school was going. I was just happy. And I realized that I wanted to be that for someone else, because I figured out that it was when you can make someone laugh, especially when they're going through hard stuff, it's like a breath of air when you're drowning. And that oftentimes can be what you need just to get through the day. So that made me really want to be a comedian, or at least do something that made people laugh. My first memory of video games was when I was 4 years old. I played the original Doom on PC. It was my first ever video game. My brother was stuck on a level and he couldn't get through it no matter how hard he tried. He was getting so angry. And I remember being 4 going, I could do it. And so he got up to like go to the bathroom, and I sat in the chair and I scooted up as much as I could, and I wound up beating it. And he looked at me like, what? And it just wound up being where we started doing it where he would play a life and I would play a life, and we would go through it, and we beat Doom like that. And it was the first memory I had of gaming, and it's honestly, it's why Doom is so close to my heart in a lot of ways. Whenever I'm frustrated or I just want to zone out, I could just launch that game and play it, and I'm super happy. Me and my brother, there's a 6-year age gap. He's 6 years older than me. So a lot of times the only thing we could really coexist on was video games. But yeah, it was a really good way of bonding with a brother whose kind of world was completely separate from mine. And he was kind of a jock, because he was on the football team, and he was the firstborn, he was the oldest, he was super responsible, and I was the weird guy. I was kind of the problem child. So me and him a lot of times never saw eye to eye on things. But it was one of those situations where we could be fighting and at each other's throats, and then we'll be like, let's go play a game, and suddenly we're like completely cool with each other, laughing it off. What would I consider myself? Definitely a streamer is first and foremost. I love live stream content because it's a way to immediately interact with the community. I appreciate greatly the people who can do YouTube and can do that editing content and can formulate a video, but I'm too chaotic to allow that to happen. The videos would never make sense. I feel like live stream lends itself to having a more intimate connection with a community. I know there's a whole big thing about, you know, parasocial relationships, but I genuinely try at least my best to kind of have that connection with my chat and with my community and try to form those bonds. Some of my best friends have started off as, you know, just people who are watching me. In 2014 or 15, I wound up being introduced to a group called the Derp Crew. Chilled Chaos, Galm HD, Z-Royal Viking, and to Smarty. I loved them so much, I went over to Twitch to do them, and I became a moderator for a couple of their communities, which was really cool, and I still thank them. And I always thought that you had to have these big advanced setups for streaming, and you had to have like multiple monitors and a really expensive, and then I found out that it was completely free, and you could do it as long as you had a mic and a computer. And so I started up on a laptop in 2016, and I played Cards Against Humanity in a game that will never see the light of day. I genuinely think I'd be banned for it. And then I did it sporadically over the course of it. And then in 2018, I got fully back into it using VR chat. I had a buddy on it, and I was messing around. He's like, dude, you should stream this because it's really funny. I'm like, sure. And I did. And the rest is history. I had to give up on college because I had to work to provide for my family. I had to move from New York to Pennsylvania. I had to leave, you know, the house I grew up in order to go and support my mom and help her out. And, you know, between working and dealing with a bunch of other stress and dealing with a relationship that was kind of going a little bit sideways, I just never had the time. And there was a point where I was working like 60, 70 hours a week, and you can't stream when you're doing that. So I kind of got it on the back burner. But around the time I started streaming was kind of like the perfect storm, where I had left a job, my relationship had ended, which was less good. And so I was trying to find something to keep my mind off of it, to try to keep me entertained, again, going through a dark time. And I said, I just want to try to make somebody's life better than what I'm feeling right now. And I started, and I've not stopped.
You did it. I was very impressed. That alone, I gave you a yes before anyone else on this show.
I'm here for OTK Elevated. I'm here for the finale, where we're competing for a chance to win $50,000. I saw it was announced, and again, the voice that said, screw it, just send it. I sent a 55-second video with no editing, with very bad lighting, boringly saying, hi, my name is Newdori, I've done literally everything under the sun. Besides, I'm a fat guy, we naturally get views. So, I sent that in thinking, there's no way they put me in, screw it. And I moved. And then I got invited, and I went, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll do this for a couple episodes, get eliminated, you know, maybe we'll do this. And I got on at episode 6, and I passed. And I got episode 7, and I passed. I did episode 8, and I'm like, there's no way. And I did it, and I was like, am I going to Vegas? So, don't be afraid to take a chance. It's definitely the best decision I've ever made spur of the moment. Didn't have to jump really high over to get to that achievement, but yeah, I wound up coming here entirely because one night I just said, screw it. There was an episode where I had to pretend to be Tectone, and live on stream I had a panic attack. As it was going on, as we're in the challenge, as we're doing it, and I'm having a full-blown panic attack, and I'm silent, and I'm in my own head, and I'm hyperventilating, and my chest is hurting, and I'm having so many negative thoughts. But then there's kind of like that voice where if you have a streamer, if you're a streamer, you're a content creator, you kind of have this voice, and you just hear it go, screw it, just send it. The worst that can happen is you tried your best. And it's just kind of forcing your way through that negative moment, having a moment of alone for 31 days. You're amazing. But I think everybody has negative moments, but what makes content creators so great is they can rise beyond them and still try to make the best thing that they can. You know, we're all human. It's just, you know, we choose to go, hey, I'm not feeling so good. Let me try to make someone else feel good. If you get in your own head and you take the time and you try to think and go, maybe I shouldn't, or, you know, genuinely, the worst thing that happens is people say no. And if people say no, they weren't going to be a member of your audience anyway. There's no reason to worry about it. I think genuinely, if there's a motto in the world that everybody should just adopt occasionally, it's just, screw it, let's just send it. I know you will hear this from every single content creator and streamer you will ever hear and you will ever meet and you will ever see a video of. But if you follow me, thank you. If you allow me to let you laugh and to take trouble away for even an instant in your life, thank you. Because this is what I love to do. And I don't need money, I don't need you to subscribe or to buy my merch or to shout me out on Twitter. But if you enjoy it, if you gain happiness from it, thank you.